Nosotros decíamos que habían 3 caminos nada más para la ganga. Era cárcel, muerte y hospital.
In a shocking revelation, several of the most feared assassins in the 18th Street Gang's violent ranks have disappeared, and rumors about their fate are swirling throughout criminal networks. These men, known for their brutal efficiency and merciless tactics, were instrumental in establishing the gang's ruthless reputation across Central and North America. But now whispers of betrayal, bloody retribution, and internal strife paint a dark picture of what may have led to their mysterious vanishing. What happened to the deadliest hitman of one of the world's most dangerous gangs? And how could this unravel the 18th Street Gang from within? Rise of the 18th Street Gang. The 18th Street Gang, or Barrio 18, has roots that reach back to Los Angeles in the 1960s, where it began as a small crew of young immigrants looking for a sense of identity and protection. Over time, however, it morphed into a violent, sprawling criminal network, recruiting members from Latin America, especially in El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. Now, with an estimated 30,000 to 50,000 members, the 18th Street Gang stands as one of the most feared and formidable organizations in the Western Hemisphere. While the gang engages in various criminal activities, including drug trafficking, extortion, and human smuggling, one of its deadliest assets has always been its hitmen. These individuals, often raised in the brutal environment of gang warfare, carry out assassinations with lethal precision. However, recent reports suggest that many of these assassins have vanished, sparking questions about their whereabouts and the gang's current stability. Who were these hitmen? These hitmen were not just any gang members. They were the elite enforcers, recruited and trained to carry out the most dangerous and violent assignments. In the gang, they're often referred to as sicarios, a Spanish term used to describe professional assassins in organized crime. They would go after rival gang leaders, individuals who refused to pay protection fees, or even law enforcement officials who stood in the gang's way. Their loyalty was to the gang, and they often operated under strict orders from the higher-ups without question. With brutal, fear-inducing tactics, these hitmen solidified Barrio 18's hold over the territories it controlled. Their missions were often gruesome, intended to send a message to anyone who dared to challenge the gang's dominance. Yet, in recent months, a staggering number of these enforcers have disappeared. For an organization built on strict loyalty and a firm hierarchical structure, the unexplained absence of their most feared members has sent shockwaves through the entire network. Theories surrounding the disappearance. Rumors are rife about the sudden absence of these assassins, each theory more startling than the last. Some of the main theories include betrayal from within, retribution from rival gangs, crackdowns by law enforcement, and, surprisingly, even voluntary departures by the hitmen themselves. 1. Betrayal and internal power struggles. The one prevalent theory is that the 18th Street Gang may be suffering from internal divisions. Like any large criminal organization, it has factions within itself that sometimes compete for power. As the gang spread across Central America and gained influence, local leaders started developing their own power bases, sometimes clashing with other high-ranking members. There are whispers that some of the hitmen may have been caught in these power struggles, possibly eliminating rivals within their own ranks or becoming targets themselves in a purge initiated by gang leaders seeking absolute control. 2. Rival gang retaliation, a vengeful strike back. The 18th Street Gang's rivalry with the MS-13 gang is infamous. Both gangs vie for control over similar territories and markets, resulting in frequent violent clashes. Some believe that MS-13, known for its equally ruthless tactics, may have orchestrated a calculated move against Barrio 18's top hitman. This theory suggests that MS-13's own hitman may have ambushed them, removing 18th Street's most formidable enforcers in one sweep. Reports from gang-afflicted regions mention the discovery of multiple bodies in unmarked graves, showing signs of severe torture, a method commonly used by MS-13 to send messages. This has fueled speculation that MS-13 may have executed 18th Street's elite members as part of a calculated effort to weaken its rivals' offensive capabilities. 3. Law enforcement silent crackdown. Governments across Central America, particularly in El Salvador under President Nayib Bukele, have been aggressively targeting gangs. In El Salvador, the government's plan controlled territorial has led to thousands of gang-related arrests and massive crackdowns in gang-controlled areas. Some believe that law enforcement, with help from intelligence agencies, identified these top assassins and arrested them discreetly. By targeting high-ranking hitmen, authorities aim to weaken the gang's command structure and create chaos within its ranks. Interestingly, due to the lack of official documentation on these arrests, the theory also suggests that authorities might be keeping these high-profile captures under wraps, aiming to prevent retaliation from Barrio 18's allies or affiliates. 4. Voluntary departure, a surprising twist. The final theory is one that no one anticipated. Some of these hitmen may have willingly left the gang. While it may sound improbable, reports from informants suggest that several hitmen, after years of violence and bloodshed, might have sought a way out, exhausted by constant conflict. Some may have tried to escape gang life, opting to live in anonymity rather than face a violent end. For these hardened assassins, fleeing would be incredibly risky, but perhaps they saw it as the only path to freedom. If true, their departure reflects a potential crack in Barrio 18's ironclad loyalty structure. This theory could be particularly troubling for the gang's leaders, as it indicates a loss of control over their own enforcers who have historically been indoctrinated to be loyal until death. Impact on the 18th Street Gang. The unexplained absence of its deadliest members has created a ripple effect throughout Barrio 18. For years, these hitmen acted as the gang's primary enforcers, intimidating rivals and keeping territories in check. Without them, the gang's influence in certain regions has started to wane, emboldening smaller rival groups to challenge 18th Street's dominance. In some areas, local law enforcement has reported a decrease in extortion and violent incidents attributed to Barrio 18. This has led some to believe that the gang's structure may be fracturing under the weight of these disappearances, making it difficult to maintain the same level of control and intimidation. How it could reshape Central American crime. The impact of the hitman's disappearance extends beyond just the gang itself. If Barrio 18 loses its grip, other gangs, especially Ms. 13, may seize the opportunity to expand their influence. A power vacuum could emerge, leading to more territorial disputes and an increase in violence as rival gangs and factions within Barrio 18 struggle for control. Additionally, this development could inspire other government crackdowns on gang violence. If these disappearances are partly due to law enforcement actions, neighboring countries may adopt similar strategies, especially if they witness a tangible reduction in gang activity. Public reaction and the gang's response. For the communities affected by the gang's brutality, the sudden decline in violence offers a moment of relief. Families no longer live in constant fear, and businesses previously subjected to extortion have started to operate with less interference. However, they know this calm could be temporary. They understand that if Barrio 18 regroups or if a rival gang seizes power, violence could escalate once again. For its part, the 18th Street Gang is reportedly attempting to regroup. New enforcers have been recruited, though they lack the experience and fearsome reputation of their predecessors. The gang has also launched a campaign to locate the missing hitman, an effort that suggests its leaders are desperate to uncover what really happened. Will the 18th Street Gang recover? The 18th Street Gang faces a critical juncture in its existence. If it cannot adapt to the loss of its elite enforcers, it may struggle to maintain its territories, resources, and influence. Rival gangs like MS-13 could capitalize on this moment of vulnerability, intensifying a turf war that could plunge parts of Central America back into a brutal cycle of violence. However, Barrio 18 has shown resilience before. It's likely that the gang will regroup and adapt as it has done in the past, but without its deadliest members, it may be forced to rethink its approach, whether through new recruitment tactics, alliances with other gangs, or more ruthless intimidation tactics. The 18th Street Gang will either transform or risk falling into obscurity.